Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about things that you can do right now to boost your sales on Etsy and get consistent sales at that. So if you don't know who I am, hello, I'm Sally and I love all things crafty. I have been selling online since 2016. That's when I started my business, and I've sold a lot of different things throughout the years to try and figure out what I wanted to sell and what I love doing, and I love to do all the things. A couple of years ago, I really narrowed it down and I now sell wood signs, and my husband works with me full time, and we've really gotten our groove figured out and have a successful Etsy shop. And so I'm here to kind of share some of the things that I've learned throughout the years with you guys. So that is what we're going to be talking about today, things that you can do right now within your Etsy shop to boost your sales and to get consistent sales too. So if you're ready to go ahead and start making more sales, let's go ahead and hop on into it, and I'll share 10 tips with you guys. So before we jump into some different things that you can kind of change around in your shop, things you can turn off and on, we're going to go ahead and talk about, first and foremost, you need to optimize your listings and your SEO in your shop. And this is kind of a given, and I've talked about this a lot on my channel, but in order to get those views and get those sales, you have to have a good SEO. And what is SEO, you might wonder? SEO is basically your titles, your tags, your descriptions and keywords and product photos. So being able to ensure that first you have a good quality product that you have practiced and you're confident in selling that product, getting a really good high quality photo taken of that, being able to have really high quality listing photos that give good descriptions and sizes and color options, give your customer a lot to look at while not overwhelming them, but give as much details as you can in your description. Make sure your title is clear and easy to read. So all of those things need to be done first. And once you have a high quality product and you have your listing optimized and you feel confident in your product, then you can be confident that you'll get more views on your items. So something I always recommend to people is to just do your market research. And what market research is basically finding out are people looking for right now? What are people searching for right now? Because honestly, if you just kind of throw items up there that you like or you think is pretty, the chances of getting visibility are kind of lower because people aren't actively looking for that specific item. So when I first started, I would just kind of throw things up there. I would not do market research, and it took me longer to kind of get the ball rolling because I was just kind of selling things that I liked, right? So if you go and kind of vet those items by looking and seeing, okay, what is trending right now? What is popular right now? What are fonts that people are looking for? What are some colors that are active this year and people are searching for? So you can kind of incorporate those trends within your products. And I'm not saying you have to be trendy and do all the trends, but if you could just kind of incorporate some of those popular things within your products, it gives you a way higher chance of just kind of getting the visibility. Within your description, you need to also make sure that you are just giving as much thorough details as possible. You want to write it out like a human. You want to answer the questions, talk about what the product is, what are the colors that you offer, or refer back to your photos. Let them know sizes, let them know what your materials are in your item. You want to do this because I've noticed people that have really short descriptions, someone might have questions. Okay, what is this shirt made out of? What is the material? What are the fabric content? What are my options? Can I do this upgrade? Can I do that? And then they might just leave because they don't want to wait for you to answer that question. I found a lot of times when people are buying something, they want to see right away what their answers are, like answers to their questions, and get those answers now so they can buy the item. Because a lot of times when people are shopping, they already have an idea of what they want, so they're already shopping around, and if you're not answering all of their questions in the description, chances are they might move on to the next person. So definitely have a thorough description and high quality listing. Just do your research on how to fully optimize your listing, and I definitely plan to make more videos on that soon, but that's definitely just something I wanted to just pop out there and let you know, that market research, optimize your SEO before we kind of move into the things that you can do to get more sales. All right, so now let's hop onto the computer and I'm going to show you some things that I do within my Etsy shop if I want to boost my sales. All right, you guys. So, first things first, run a sale. So, on Etsy, running a sale can be a great way to boost sales, and I will tell you why. For one, when customers are scrolling through all the items on Etsy, yours will stand out because it's on sale. Etsy definitely highlights this. For example, one of the things being instead of the price being black, it is green. So, it stands out when your customer clicks it. It'll say on sale for X amount of time. So, let's go ahead and look really quickly on the sales page here on Etsy. So, as you see here, when you get here, there's lots of promotions you can run. There's a lot of things you can do. For example, you can join Etsy's sales event. As you see right now, they have a jewelry sales event going on. I don't sell jewelry, so I probably wouldn't set up for that, but you want to look for something that kind of aligns with what you sell. Next, you can accept offers from buyers. I would not do this because it kind of sounds like eBay, or one of the other sites where they offer you something and you just kind of lower your cost based off that. And I don't think that's really a good idea. So I don't ever do that. Another thing you can do is run a sale, which I like to do that. As you see, you can set your percentage off. Where is it valid? Your sale duration, all of that stuff. I love to do that. That's the main type of sale that I run. I will do that along with this one right here, encourage bigger orders. I love this one right here, you guys. It's a great way to boost your sales. So here, when you encourage bigger orders, it's things like, it says right here, you choose the discount and the minimum that shoppers have to buy to get it. This can be the number of items or how much they spend. For now, this type of sale applies to your whole shop, so you can't choose specific listings. So for example, I will do something like, let's say I want to offer 25% on 2 items, or I want to offer 25% if you spend $100. So this is a great way to bundle your sales. So let's say I have an entire sale on my shop for 15% off, and I also have, or you can get 20% or 25% if you spend, I don't know, $150 or $200 or whatever. So it might prompt your buyer to spend more money, so it encourages larger orders. So I've seemed to found that these do really well, and I do like to pair that with a sale when I run it. So that's something else you can set up. You can offer your listings together for less. So let's say you offer a nursery name sign and a baby stats sign, and if they buy 2, they get an extra percentage off as well. So that's another thing you can do. And then 2 other things that I always run is the abandoned cart. So this is basically when somebody leaves the item in their cart for a certain amount of time, they get a 25% off coupon in their email. Great to set up. Everybody should be doing this. I do get a very good return doing that. And also the thank yous with the discount. So this is for customers that have purchased. They get a thank you card, and they also get 25% off. I found that 25 is a great deal to run because I usually only offer about a 15% off or 20% at the most if they spend a certain amount. So this 25 is always the highest amount. So I pretty much always have guaranteed that they'll return after that. So this is the sale page, you guys. I highly recommend running a sale when you want more orders. And if there's times that you're cool with not running a sale, that's fine. But always have some kind of promotion going on because it will encourage people to check out your shop. All right, so something else that you're going to want to do to boost your Etsy sales is to set a fast lead time. So basically what this means is that you have a quick turnaround time. I know that a lot of custom products take time to make, but customers, a lot of the times when they're shopping, they're looking for something that could get to them quickly. And they understand that sometimes things have to be created. But if you're able to have a fast turnaround, I definitely highly recommend it. I found that for me, what makes my sales kind of turn around a little bit faster is having a 1 to 3 day lead time. And this works good for me in my shop. I have my business hours per se set to Monday to Friday, and that way they know that that is within the shipping window. So if they place their order on a Friday, that doesn't mean that it's going to ship out on a Saturday. It counts as business days. So you want to keep that in mind as well. But there's a helpful area in your Etsy shop that you can set all that up, have your days that you're able to ship, and obviously every product is different, the amount of time it takes you to create, but try and ship them on the quicker lead time if you can. A lot of times we alter ours depending on how busy we are. If we're extremely busy and we really want some time to be able to get those orders out, we'll have it a little bit faster. But we really try and keep that 1 to 3 day lead time. A lot of times for us, We can ship signs out faster if someone orders like a natural wood sign rather than a painted wood sign, because it doesn't have to dry, things like that. So you just kind of have to figure out what works for you, but set that quick lead time. And I promise you, buyers definitely look at that, because I have noticed a significant difference in sale if I even just bump up to like a week or something like that. People want it quick. So something else Etsy really pushes, and the reason why is because they're trying to compete with a lot of other places like Amazon and pretty much every website that you go to nowadays. I don't know if you're like me, but I love to find ways to get free shipping. So, and I think we all know as small business owners that there's no such thing as free shipping, right? We're gonna have to pay, as the seller, we have to pay shipping regardless of if we offer free shipping or not. So Etsy really does seem to favor sellers that offer their free shipping guarantee. And that's basically where if you spend over $35, you offer free shipping. That is something that we do utilize within our shop. So all of our wood signs have free shipping. So what we like to do is we like to include the shipping cost in our item. And I've talked about that in a couple different videos, but just in short, you basically want to figure out what your shipping cost, the averages for your items, and then be able to somehow calculate that within your cost. It's a step-by-step thing that you can go and figure out depending on what your product is. So that is something else, just a tip if you want to kind of boost your sales a little bit, offer that free shipping guarantee and include the cost of shipping in your prices. So another tip I have on ways to kind of boost your Etsy sales is to run Etsy ads. So this is something that I have played around with a lot throughout the years to kind of figure out what works. And in the beginning, I just kind of was only spending $1 a day here and there. And then I started kind of experimenting and spending more money on ads, figuring out how the return on ad spend was, if we were getting good profit from them. And we had our whole last year, we did really well. We made an 8-to-1 ratio, which is every dollar spent, you would get back $8 for that. So you just kind of have to figure it out. I'm sure if we wanted to do more, the highest I think I've ever spent is $30 on ads. And I just wanted to clarify that I'm talking about per day budget, not monthly. And to us, that did really well for the last year. But during slow times, we would or not slow times, during fast times or times that we were actually crazy busy, I didn't really need to necessarily have our ad spending that much. So I would bump it down and then I bump it up when we want to get more sales. So it definitely works, you guys. Running ads definitely works on Etsy. And it's something that you want to kind of step aside and have a little bit of a budget set up for. I found that it is pretty much most businesses have a marketing budget, and you just kind of have to allocate and figure out what's worth it to you, how much money you want to spend on that. But if you want to, I guess what they say, if you want to make money, you got to spend money. So that is something that kind of is the same with ads. So some tips I have with the ads, and I would have to make a whole video going into details on how we've gotten our return on ads pretty good, is you want to first and foremost not run ads on every single listing. You definitely want to only run ads on the items that are already pretty much doing well, or items that you want to give a really good boost on. Running ads on every single item, it just doesn't work well. And in return, as those items are already doing well, the ads are also boosting your item, and you're just getting all the visibility, the favorites, the traction into your shop. So it does work very well for items that are doing well. You also want to place ads on seasonal items. That will do well to be able to boost those seasonal items for your shop. But yes, running ads does convert well. You just have to kind of do your homework and figure out how much ad budget you want to spend, which items you should run ads on, and just kind of do your own research and figuring out what will work for your shop, your products. But I promise it does work if you just kind of do all the work to get the high quality product, figure out that that's already a well product that people really want, run ads on them, choose the items carefully, based off seasonal interest, and just experiment a little bit. And it can definitely work and definitely boost your sales, you guys. I will make a video on this one day soon and show you guys more in-depth details on how we have figured out a good return on ads. So another way to boost your sales is to constantly post on social media and offer special discount codes for your social media followers. I'm sure most of you know this, but social media is an excellent marketing tool to be able to put yourself out there. People want to see the person that they're supporting. They want to see the behind the scenes. They want to see that this is a real person behind the computer that's selling those products. They love to see the process of creating the products. They love to see sneak peeks and behind the scenes. It's just something super fun for people, and it can, a lot of times it makes people want to support those people even more. So if you're trying to get yourself out there and you're really trying to boost your sales, post on social media, offer those special discount codes for your social media followers. For example, maybe a 15% off code, having this specific code, so that way you kind of know as a seller. It's a great marketing tool to be able to see, hey, this amount of sales is coming from Facebook, this amount of sales is coming from Instagram or TikTok or wherever you're trying to get yourself out there. And it can help to know, where do I want to put more of my marketing and my time into, and maybe even run ads on your social media. It's a great tool to see your return for that. So I think it's a great way to boost your sales. It's just constantly post on social media, and I'm terrible with it. I really wish that I could be more consistent. But when you get busy, it's kind of hard to do that. But if you're trying to boost your sales, it's a great marketing tool. All right, number 9 of ways to boost your Etsy sales is to study your stats. So within your Etsy dashboard, you have a great tool to be able to see a lot of good stats. You can see things like your views and visits, search terms that people use to find your item. This kind of gives you an idea of titles and tags to use, traffic sources, and so much more. You can use this tool to get an idea of what people are searching for, to know new items that you can add or how to improve your current item. I love to look at my stats. It's given me so many ideas of new products. For example, one of our popular nursery signs, I started noticing that there was specific search terms that people were using, which gave me an idea of even more items to add and even more things that were popular, like adding a double wood frame or adding a certain pattern or certain colors. These are things that you have a great way to know what your customers were looking for to find your item, so that you can tailor new items to making even more sales. So it's just a great tool. Don't neglect your stats, you guys. It's a great tool to be able to figure out how to boost your Etsy sales. And the last tip I have for you guys is to maintain high quality customer service to keep that star seller badge and be able to get those boost in sales. And I will tell you guys, I promise that if you maintain good customer service, people will come back. People will notice that. Etsy even has a search now where in the regular search bar, you can actually filter that by star sellers. And some people want only star sellers, which, to be a star seller, if you don't know what that is already, it's basically you reply speedily, you have a fast turnaround time, so you're shipping on time, you're not shipping delayed or having any delays or anything like that, and anybody opening up a case against you or anything like that. So you just basically maintain high quality customer service. And not to say that people that don't have star seller badges don't have good customer service, because I've had a time there where I forgot to turn on my auto reply and I didn't get back to my messages for over 24 hours when we were during a crazy season. So that was 50 messages that were considered late replies. And I didn't get the star seller badge, because you have to maintain responses. And in order to do that, turn on auto replies. That's very helpful if you have a moment where you can't respond right away. But I notice if I'm really on top of my messages, I make a time every day to sit down and respond to messages. And if somebody that has already ordered has opened up a message thread, get back to them instantly. Just maintain that high quality responses. I've noticed that that is super important, to respond fast and ship out items on time. Make sure within your lead time that you're shipping out. And if you're not shipping out within your lead time, just up your lead time a little bit more to maintain that good. They know exactly when their item's going to ship, and you're shipping when they say. And just try and avoid low reviews if you can. Low reviews happen. You can't please everybody. But if you're doing all those things to maintain high quality customer service, their reviews won't be as low. But I know that there's still those people that will still leave bad reviews. But what I try to do, if a problem ever arises and somebody reaches out and they're mad about something, or if something's late in shipping, just be human. Just talk to them like a human being, get to their level and understand where they're coming from, and just do what you can. Sometimes you have to give a little bit more. That's just part of being a business owner. And I've come to find that low rate of people that are angry, just get to their level, and a lot of times they'll come right back to you, be very satisfied, very happy, and it'll all work out. So maintaining high quality customer service is a way to truly get more sales, because people do notice that, and a lot of times customers will return because they were very satisfied with your customer service. All right, y'all, so that pretty much sums up this video. I hope that y'all enjoyed those 10 tips on things that you can do right now to boost your Etsy sales and get consistent sales. These are things that have worked for us throughout the years if we ever really want to boost our sales. And you really have to, when you have an Etsy shop and you have a small business, you need to tend to it and take care of it and constantly be working on it, because if you do that, you'll get a good return and you'll have consistency, which is really important. Obviously, when we're working for ourselves, we want consistency. So I hope that you guys found this helpful. If you have any questions, definitely leave them down in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video, which will be very soon. Bye.